There's a new team that wants Lauri Markkanen in this latest trade rumor. This one comes from Zach Lowe. In his latest piece, he says, a pile of teams have shown interest in Lauri Markkanen, including the San Antonio Spurs, Sacramento Kings, Miami Heat, and Golden State Warriors, sources said. History suggests Danny Ainge, Utah CEO, will move Markkanen once someone meets his price. All right, so the Miami Heat are now in this race. The thing about the Miami Heat is I don't know if they can get Lauri Markkanen even if they want to, based off of the prices we've heard that Danny Ainge wants. You're likely going to need to get about 4 first-round picks, unprotected, as well as swaps, and probably a young player. Golden State can probably get close to that, as well as the San Antonio Spurs, but I'm not sure the Miami Heat can do that. The next rumor for Markkanen comes from Mark Stein, who also mentions the Miami Heat, but he has some other things that he adds. First, he says that the Jazz can't use their $30+ million in projected salary cap space to renegotiate and extend Markkanen's contract until August 6th. So Utah is incentivized to take every call in the interim and keep listening to pitches. That approach does no apparent harm. It also generates a lot of good intel for them. The Jazz, with Danny Ainge as CEO, were always going to do this, even if they are serious about keeping Markkanen. That is an interesting point. Lauri Markkanen makes about $17 million this season, but he will make more for the Utah Jazz if he renegotiates with them, but they can't renegotiate until August 6th because that is the anniversary of when he signed his most recent contract. The problem with that is that the Jazz, if they do that, they cannot trade him until February 6th, according to Mark Stein. He says one more interesting and incredibly important wrinkle here. Next season trade deadline is February 6th. 8 days before All-Star Weekend begins in San Francisco. This is hugely important because Markkanen can't be traded for 6 months after signing an extension in Utah. 6 months after August 6th happens to be February 6th. That means, checking with league office, Markkanen would be eligible to be traded only 1 day next season, on February 6th, and February 6th alone, if an extension is hashed out immediately with the Jazz on August 6th. So there are some crazy timelines here, and Utah has to decide what they want to do. Do they want to trade him now? Do they want to wait till August 6th and get that extension? If they wait till August 6th, that means next season they are going to be putting everything in 1 day to trade him, and it takes time to get these things done, especially with what we've seen with Danny Ainge, which tells me Utah is more likely to trade Markkanen sooner than later. The issue there is the teams that are trading for him don't get him locked in for 4 years. They may have to wait to make sure they make that renegotiation and lock him in long term. That means Lauri Markkanen probably has to tell that team that he's being traded to he wants to re-sign with them. It makes this whole thing a little more tricky. Doesn't make it impossible, just makes it more difficult. We'll see if it happens. My guess, it probably happens sooner than later, but we shall see. Guys, like and subscribe to the channel. I'll talk to you next time.